The art world loves a discovery story. One curator walks into a studio, spots a masterpiece, and suddenly an unknown artist becomes incomplete. Welcome to Art Money, the channel explaining the business behind the art. So now let's follow the many people who actually shape artistic recognition. First, separate fame from quality. Fame measures how widely an artist is recognized and how strongly a culture agrees that the work deserves attention. It does not prove that the artist is objectively better than everyone who remains unknown. Excellent work can be overlooked. Weak work can become fashionable. Recognition is not a perfect ranking. It is the visible result of many choices, opportunities, relationships, and repeated signals. The process begins with the work, but it cannot end in the studio. A strong body of work has to be documented, discussed, exhibited, and encountered. Peers are often the first audience. They share opportunities, recommend names, organize shows, and introduce artists to other people. This is not a secret shortcut. It is how information moves through a field where no one has enough time to personally evaluate every artist. A studio visit, a residency, a group exhibition, or a recommendation does not make an artist famous. It creates a signal. Someone credible found the work worth more attention. One signal is fragile. Several independent signals begin to look like a pattern. When different people keep arriving at the same artist, the next person feels less alone in taking a risk. Recognition starts to compound before the public sees it. Galleries do more than place prices beside objects. They select a group of artists, present the work consistently, explain it to collectors, organize exhibitions, document sales, and bring the artist into new conversations. Representation can make an artist easier to find and easier to understand, but a gallery cannot manufacture durable importance by itself. If other parts of the system never respond, the signal usually stops at the gallery door. Curators influence recognition by deciding which works appear together and what story connects them. That context matters. Research examining 125 artists across 996 exhibitions at the Museum of Modern Art found that exhibition-created connections could have affected later historical recognition, even after accounting for individual accomplishments such as solo shows. Curators are not simply finding history. Through selection and comparison, they can help construct it. Collectors add money, commitment, and placement. A purchase can fund the next body of work and tell galleries that demand exists. Repeated purchases can make the market pay closer attention, but price is not the same as cultural importance. A fast sale may reflect taste, access, scarcity, or speculation. Market attention becomes more durable when it is joined by exhibitions, writing, peer respect, and long-term care for the work. Critics, journalists, podcasters, and other media do something the artwork cannot do alone. They give the public language. A clear essay can connect a new body of work to history, politics, technique, or a wider cultural question. That language makes an artist easier to discuss, search for, teach, and remember. Publicity creates visibility. Serious interpretation creates context. The strongest careers usually need both, and they are not interchangeable. Museums, foundations, archives, and universities can preserve recognition beyond one exhibition season. Their decisions are also more distributed than they appear. At the Museum of Modern Art, for example, departmental collection committees approve recommendations to add or remove works from the collection. Mission, provenance, conservation, storage, scholarship, and available resources all matter. The museum label may look like one decision, but it is usually the outcome of an institutional process. The internet changed the speed of discovery, not the basic structure. A post can put an artist in front of 1 million people overnight. That is attention, and it can be valuable. But views are a different signal from a sustained exhibition program, a thoughtful review, a committed collection, or museum stewardship. Online visibility can open the first door. It cannot force every other part of the art world to agree. Think of an art career as 7 overlapping signals. The work, peer recognition, exhibitions, critical writing, collector commitment, institutional support, and audience attention. No artist needs every signal in the same order. Some careers begin in community spaces, others begin online, through galleries, or through academic networks. The important point is repetition. One mention fades, a pattern of independent attention becomes a reputation. This system is not neutral. Geography, money, education, language, identity, free time, and proximity to powerful networks affect who gets seen. Gatekeepers can reproduce bias, and fashionable consensus can exclude important work. But the opposite claim that every successful artist was chosen by one hidden authority is also too simple. Power is real, but it is distributed. Different systems overlap, disagree, and change over time. Artists cannot control taste, timing, institutional politics, or fame. They can control the strength of the work, the clarity of its documentation, the consistency of its presentation, the care they bring to relationships, and whether they follow through when an opportunity appears. Networking does not mean collecting important people. It means participating in a real community, contributing to other artists, and making the work easier to encounter, understand, maximum exposure. Photograph it well. Organized. Seek rooms where the work makes sense, not simply the room with the most followers. Stay connected to peers whose judgment you respect. None of these actions guarantees recognition. Together, they make serious attention more likely to continue. So who decides which artists become famous? No one, and many people. Recognition grows when independent signals reinforce one another across the studio, gallery, market, media, and museum. Talent matters, but talent has to circulate. Thanks for watching Art Money. If this helped you understand the system, subscribe and watch the next episode, How Museums Actually Buy Art. Art Money, the business behind the art.